Okay. Testing. Is everything working?
Looks like it. Yeah.
Okay. Everything's rolling. Hello everyone at Stuck at HomeCon, and welcome to Jane and Dirk's Bombastic Baking Bonanza.
We're baking cookies.
Quite right, we are. Specifically, chocolate chip cookies, one of the easiest recipes in the book, so that you viewers at home can follow along and make some for yourself.
I have never baked before.
No, you have not. That's why we're here, to learn together. If you viewers at home are wondering why Dirk is here with me today, instead of anyone else, well, Roxy said she was busy, Jake is afraid of the oven, and everybody else said they wanted to, and I quote, see what happens.
So you're stuck with me.
Quite right we are. Okay, but before we officially start, I have a gift for you to formally introduce you to the world of baking. Now, for you viewers at home, aprons are not exactly necessary for baking, but they do help when unexpected spills or messes happen, and as a bonus, they're cute.
I don't have to wear an apron, do I? Okay.
Just give me one moment. I made a very special apron just for you, okay? Close your eyes.
Okay.
Okay. Alright. Just give me a moment. Okay. And open!
Wow. That's,
You have to wear it.
Okay.
Alright, well, what's to start with? Okay, how about, mise en place? Do you know what that means, Dirk?
Is it French?
It is French, because the French are good at baking, or whatever. Mise en place basically means, oh, you made a visual for this. Can you pull up the visual?
Yep.
Mise en place basically means to have everything ready before you start. So we have all of our ingredients, we have all of our tools that we need, of course the Betty Crocker brand, because of course they have to be. This also includes preheating the oven. So the oven temperature that you're going to need for these specific cookies, other people may say different temperature, this is the correct one, so make sure it's the correct one. You want to preheat your oven to 325 degrees. Now, if your oven gets hot on the stovetop, like Dirk's does, it might not be a great idea to leave things like butter on your stovetop.
Why are we in my apartment again? If yours is better.
Because, my dad didn't want you in my house.
For why?
Because you are a boy.
I like men.
No, he knows that. I don't think he gets it, though. And I said that. I said, it's okay. We're just doing a video for, you know, a thing that we're, a convention. It's really cool. We're just gonna be baking. And he said, I just don't want boys in my house. What if you do some dastardly things? And I said, Dad, it's okay. He's a homosexual. And he didn't get it. So, now we're here at your wonderful apartment.
Don't clown on my girl, Pinkie Pie.
Why do you have to have that up in the kitchen?
That's just where she goes.
Okay, whatever. So first, what you're going to want to do with the butter. We're going to split the ingredients into what we call wets and dries. They're not actually wets and they're not actually dry. We just call them that because we do. The first thing you're going to do is soften your butter. If you had your butter in the fridge and you left it out already to be room temperature for 15 to 20 minutes, that's perfectly fine. If you didn't, like us, we are going to microwave it. Now, you don't want to melt the butter all the way, because melting the butter makes your cookies into flat pancakes that are terrible and horrible, and it makes you bad at baking, and we don't want to do that. So you couldn't have done the dishes before we started?
I did them, and then I didn't do them.
Were you eating SpaghettiOs earlier? What is even in here? You shouldn't be putting food in the sink.
SpaghettiOs, yes. I eat them for breakfast.
You eat SpaghettiOs for breakfast?
They're for breakfast.
They're not for breakfast. That's not a balanced breakfast at all. That's SpaghettiOs. It's like a
do you-
children's lunch.
If you want, you can just like take a look outside and see what there is to. I mean, you know what I mean? What else is there?
I suppose. So, soften the butter. For us, that means microwaving for 30 seconds. We don't know exactly what your microwave temperature is set to. Just make sure that you do not melt it, but it is softened enough so that you can mash it easily with your Betty Crocker brand spatula. Alright. Should we have done this before?
I think we should have done this before we.
I don't think this sounds very good for that.
Yeah, the waveform doesn't look very nice. Oh, everything is peaking.
Okay, we're not gonna let that beep. Great. What? I'm sorry. Hold on. What is that on the stove? What is that on the stove?
Oh, this.
What is this?
It's
What-
plastic.
What have you done to the stove?
There was plastic on the stove, and then I turned on the stove, which melted the plastic onto the stove.
You melted the stove itself. How could you have? Okay, we're gonna ignore this. We're gonna ignore this. All right. So the next step is to just mash the butter. Just mash it. You don't want chunks of butter in your cookies because then they will melt in the oven, and then your cookies will just get wet, which you don't really want very much. So just mash them like this, sort of like.
Oh, right.
Yes. Well, you need to learn, so I'm going to make you do most of it. And then we have eggs.
Also wet.
And you don't. There's another reason why you don't want your butter to be too melted, because then you will cook the eggs when you put them in your batter, which
Okay.
is not good.
Do we put the?
Here, I can do it. Why don't you check on chat?
Okay. All right. We got one donation from Carapacian number 433, 444.
Okay.
Oh, and there's a donation from Golgotha's Terror. Got a comment on this one. Says, hi, Dirk, :3, :3, :3. Hi, :3, Dirk, :3, :3, :3. Hi. Hey, man.
You two are so annoying.
I didn't write the message.
Jake, you're annoying. You don't have to bring your business into everything we do. Anyways,
Can we just continue? Yep.
so we
Yep.
just saw that I washed my hands. You don't want raw eggs in your batter. Well, I eat batter. They say you shouldn't.
They say.
They say you shouldn't. And I'm going to tell you professionally as a professional, do not eat your unbaked cookie dough. But as Jane, I'm going to tell you that it's fine and that you're not going to get sick because I do it all the time and literally nothing happens to me. So, I think it's fine. But still, when you are handling eggs or anything raw like that, always wash your hands before you start the batter again. Because it's goopy and it's disgusting. And you don't want to make a mess. But also, that's what your wonderful apron is for.
It's so
Isn't it
wonderful.
so
It's
cute?
so
I worked
wonderful.
very hard on this apron.
It's so wonderful.
I put all the hearts. I put your little hat thing. I don't really know what the hat really means or why you wear it.
It means it's a hat.
And I put, look, D Strider. And I couldn't fit Dirk Strider, but I put it orange. It's only orange so that you know which D Strider I'm talking about.
Right. Because the other one would be red, wouldn't it?
Because the other one would be red. Oh my god, see? Okay. Alright, now what is next? I'm gonna keep mixing this, I think. How's chat doing?
Thank you for the donation.
Ah!
Poop Shitter 69.
You don't have to read out the vulgar names, you can just acknowledge that they gave you money. Why would you even have that as a username? That's... What are you doing? What are you doing? Come back here.
Hold on.
Well, anyway, you're going to want to mix the butter and the eggs enough so that they are not
David
chunky.
Elizabeth Strider. Change your username.
How do you even know that that's him?
The email connected to the dono. It was turntechgodhead at cmail.com. Also his IP address, but I'm not linking that.
You know, your brother's very interesting. He's very... I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't that.
You know, it's not better or worse than any other little bits he's done.
Alright. So now that that is mixed, usually we would do baking soda, vanilla, and salt. But we're going to skip the salt because we use salted butter. And before we do that, we're going to put the sugar in. Now we're doing half a cup of each type of sugar. We did 2 sticks of butter, 2 eggs, and now we're doing half a cup. You can put more if you would like. It doesn't actually affect the chemical whateverness of the bake, but it's healthy, I suppose, or whatever. And of course, we're going to be using our Betty Crocker brand. It's upside down. Yay, you fixed it. Our Betty Crocker brand tools. You don't have to use these, but like they're better than the other ones. So we're going to use half a cup. It might also have other measurements on there, like the teaspoons or the milliliters. Milliliters are for the wet measurements of water and milk and other things. My opinion on the difference between dry measuring cups and wet measuring cups is that they're the exact same thing, and you do not need... they measure the exact same thing. And of course, we here know this, so we put the wet measurement on the dry measuring cups because they're the same thing. Anyways, why don't you put the sugar first?
Okay.
Oh, and that is the sound of the oven being done preheating. You want it to be well... oh no. Dark,
Yes.
we didn't check if there was anything in the oven.
This shouldn't be.
Give me a moment. There are things in the oven.
That's where things go.
Why do you put things in the oven?
That's where things go.
No, they go underneath the oven. You have a little, like, pull-out thingy thing. Doohickey.
Is that what that's for?
Yes, it's to put your trays and your other things.
Well...
Okay. So, this is what you should not do. Is put things in the oven when you're not using the oven. But if you are putting things in the oven when you are not using the oven, take them out before you preheat it. So you don't have to take them out. Oh look, you packed them in, very nice. You do this, it's your oven. So Dirk here just did something, what we call packing the sugar. You don't have to pack cane sugar or white sugar. Oof. Because it doesn't pack. But brown sugar has molasses in it. That is what makes it brown. Also, if your if your brown sugar gets solid in your pantry or whatever it is you hold your sugar in, that's completely fine and you do not have to throw it away. All you have to do is microwave it a little bit so that the molasses liquefies again and turns into normal sugar. And right here, Dirk has packed the sugar into the measuring cup so that you make sure they have the correct amount of sugar. And then you undo it, because that's how you bake. It's a very precise science that makes a lot of sense. Alright. Okay. And then...
should I douse it in water?
Oh no, don't do that. Just leave them. If you have anything in the kitchen that is at an extreme temperature, like hot or cold, you don't want to douse it in hot or cold water, the opposite one. Otherwise they might, especially glass. This one is made out of glass. Might explode! So instead, you just leave them off to the side. You make sure not to touch them. Otherwise you will burn yourself, which I have done 0 times, because I'm very good at this. Alright, so now that that is mixed, we do the little ingredients. Baking soda, vanilla, and what would be salt, but our salt was already in the butter. So if you do not have salted butter, you're going to use 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt, whatever salt you'd like. And we also do. Dirk, can you check the recipe on the chocolate chip bag and see how much Arm & Hammer pure baking soda we need to add?
1 TSP.
Teaspoon.
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 I'm sorry, I don't know.
The capital T is tablespoon.
Is it just a capital T or just?
Just capital T means tablespoon. TSP means teaspoon.
Sure. Okay.
That is. I didn't make it up. Let's measure it out.
Betty Crocker again.
Betty Crocker? Yes, of course. Why would we use anything else? Well, I would say in this household. This is your household.
You brought
Pinkie
him.
Pie.
She's lovely.
Does Pinkie Pie know how to bake?
I'm sure she does. Her name is Pinkie Pie.
Sure, whatever.
Right?
Do you watch shows that are for adults?
Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Is that the one about the...
The Rapture.
Yeah, the robots?
Mm-hmm.
I always wondered how that worked. How do you put robots into, like, Bible allegory?
By being sick as fuck, clearly.
Sure. So we're going to skip the salt, but you might not have to. So make sure if you, at this step, need to put salt into your dough, that you do. That would be 1/4 of a teaspoon with this specific recipe that we are using. And
then a teaspoon for vanilla extract.
Don't do what I just did. What?
That is...
Do you have a comment?
I think maybe more than a teaspoon.
Okay, it doesn't matter. It's just vanilla. It's just for taste. It doesn't affect like the chemical.
Right.
What? I know how to do this.
We got a donation from Golgotha's Terror again. Another $5. I didn't know you read these out loud.
Yes.
Yeah, we do.
We do. Thank you, Jake.
Thank you for another $5, though.
So is the money going to me or to you?
Well, I guess that's up to you. It's set up on your Twitch account, so...
Alright, well, there's a little bit of chunks in here, but that's not a big deal. We just have to mix those out. And... What is happening to the stream?
Is this thing working? Okay. Hi, gamers. Welcome to Roxy's Mahal from just now. Me and Junie went and bought a bunch of clothes and stuff. So, we got these pants from Hot Topic that we totally paid for. Okay, they were like 50 microphones. We were not about to pay for all that. Yeah. Next up, June got this. Okay, so like I told this girl that she should get some hot girl shit for her hot girl summer, and she said, but I like this shirt and I grew out of the old one, so I should get a new one. I said, no, girl, it's kind of ugly. And also, we're not 12 years old anymore. And also, Zelda doesn't exist anymore because the world exploded and shit. OMG, I heard you guys have the new Zelda game on this planet. That is so lucky. Please play for me. Just for you, girl. Thank you. Okay, and then we got...
Roxy, you're interrupting our panel.
Well, yeah, I gotta show them the Build-A-Bear we got.
You said you were busy today.
Yeah, busy at the mall, 'cause I had to help June fix her wardrobe. And it didn't work. Lols.
I cannot believe you didn't help me with this panel just so you could buy stuffed animals.
Hey, Janie, you're gonna love this guy. Hold on. It's like a bear and also an alien bug thing. It's pink and it's so cute.
Okay, it's a little bit cute, even if it's an abomination.
See, it's my cute little abomination. It fits right in with all my other mutant cats and stuff. Okay, that's it for Roxy's Mohawk. Bye.
Okay. Alright, now that that is over with, what is next? What is next? Flour! Okay, flour. Dark, we have to do flour. So, we are going to be using 2 cups of flour. Can you show us which one is a cup? It's not upside down this time. The biggest one, probably. We only have in our sets 4. Because that's the only kinds that you need.
2 flour.
Well, I mean the measuring cups. Because other baking companies like to give you the micro measurements of cups where you just don't need those. You can just do the math by yourself. It's not that difficult.
Right.
1 1/4. Just do the 1 and then the 4th. You don't need the cup that is 1 1/4. That makes no sense. Also, who has room for those?
So do I.
Yes.
Okay.
We're gonna do 1 at a time. Mostly because we are working with a spatula that isn't super thick. So mixing in, this is what we call the dry ingredients. Those were all the wet ingredients, and now this is the dry ingredient. And you're gonna notice, it takes a while to mix it in because of how much of it there is. So we're gonna do 1 cup at a time, and until the first cup is fully all the way mixed in, you don't want to mix the next one or even touch the next one.
Right. I'll get some donuts out of the way. Carpation 3, what an early bird. Alright, thank you for the 500 bits. That's huge.
Wow.
Let's see. Okay. Wow, we got a donation from
From who?
from Undying Umbrage.
What? How is he? Hold on. How is he even here? I thought I banned him and all of his alternate. How did he find the link to the stream?
This message is...
What? What does it say?
It is special. Here. Let me do my best Caliborn impression. Dirk! Why are you brown? The woke mob has infested my beautiful and holy webcomic of Homestuck.com. Hey, Jen.
Yes, Dirk?
What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
I'm not entirely sure, Dirk.
I'm confused as to what exactly he's complaining about. Why are you brown, man? What?
You've always been brown. It's simply the way that you look.
Like, alright, bro, check it, like...
What are you doing? Ah! Dirk!
Yeah, you happy now? Sick.
It's everywhere.
Well, this might have been too brown, too. The stove.
The stove?
That might have scared him off also.
Do we have... What did the streamers say? Mods? Ban him. We don't have
Yeah,
mods. Do
check,
we have
ban
mods?
this guy.
Do we have mods?
Probably.
Did we add anyone? I think it's just us. Can you ban him?
I want to ban him.
He's so annoying. How did he even find the link? We're on a different planet! We don't even have... YouTube.
That is insane.
Not the same YouTube. It's a different YouTube. How did he get the link?
You know, man, I will personally come and single-handedly kick your ass a second time if you send some stupid nonsense like that again. Thank you for the $5, though.
Will you wash your hands? You are covered in flour. We don't need to entertain xenophobes or racists.
Or whatever it is that he's doing
Isn't he
right now.
green?
He is green.
He's green. I don't understand. What does that mean? Why are you brown? Because you're brown.
Because I'm brown?
Because you're brown.
I've been brown.
You live in the bad version of Texas. It's hot. Global warming has totally messed up the plant by the time you were there.
So I'm just not really sure what it is that he meant by that.
I mean, there's no other people there except there was no other people except for you and Roxy, so you're brown because he's gone, right? He's gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should be off the stream.
Thank you for cleaning up. See, this is why we need aprons. Don't you love your apron? Look, see, it protected you from your
Whitewashing
mishaps. And now we need another towel. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. We have another towel. The dirt towel.
See, this is what we need on a day-to-day, isn't it?
Alright, so now we have the second cup of flour.
Right.
Oh, man. Maybe chat was not the greatest idea.
Well, I mean, we're getting donuts, so...
What am I going to do with it? I live in a very big house.
Well, I still live in my apartment, so...
Oh, you made a mess again! Dirk!
My fault, like...
Just be careful with the flour. The flour happens to be very messy and very annoying to clean up. And it's going to get all over the laptop. Oh, my laptop. That's my only laptop. Dirk, please do not mess up my laptop. That is my only laptop, and it's like 12 years old.
We'll alchemize a new one.
No, we can't alchemize a new one. That's my laptop. It's the one that I've been using since I was a little girl. Okay.
Okay.
It's a very special laptop.
Got another donation from... Oh, hey, Callie.
Hi.
Says, hello, Jane and Dirk. You guys are doing wonderfully so far. I'm so proud of you both. Yay. Up carrot, you up carrot.
Oh, that's the faces that she makes. With the little... In the text, she makes the little faces.
Yes.
I make the little face. I do the colon capital B. That's my T.
I can't make triangle glasses.
So you could figure out how to make triangle glasses. How does Dave do the round glasses? He has an emoji for that.
Yeah,
I
he
don't
has
like
them.
emojis.
I'm not a fan of them either. Dave's always talking about the post-irony with it.
With the crying, laughing one?
Yes, the crying,
laughing
one.
I hate that one. I hate that one. It doesn't even get the emotion across correctly. It's just... It looks like you're just crying.
He also likes the smile with the just two blank dots on the face for eyes. That one kind of worries me a little.
Oh, this is... Oh, you do it.
Okay.
Okay. At this point in the mixing, it gets a little bit difficult because of how many things you packed in. But, if you're following along, it should start to look like cookie dough. This is cookie dough.
This is cookie dough.
This is cookie dough. You don't want any of these extra flour bits. You can go around the rim here. Of whatever container you're using, or bowl. Because flour does not actually turn into anything else when you bake it in the oven. It simply stays as flour. And this can be good sometimes. Sometimes a recipe will call for baked flour or heat-treated flour, and that's where you just bake the flour by itself and take it back out and then start baking with it. But that's because it doesn't actually go through any chemical changes when you put it in the oven. So if there's flour remnants in your dough, when you put it in the oven, it will stay that way, and then you will have a mouthful of flour, which is not good.
Carpation 20, thank you for the 20 bits.
Does not taste very good. Alright, now we have the flour. It looks good. It looks good. It does look good. It looks good. Oh. Dirk?
Yes.
I think your dog woke up. He's so cute.
What dog?
The dog. The one that's over there.
There's a cat over there.
And a dog.
He's orange. Oh. There's a dog.
What do you mean, what dog? He was here when we walked in.
Blood.
Is that not your dog?
No.
Whose dog is that? Whose dog is that?
Who the fuck is this? Hey, Earthsea, or whichever Earth this is, if you're missing a dog that looks like this, you should come get your dog.
He's very silly. Who cut his hair? I'm not sure I agree with this.
He's got a bob.
He does have a bob. He doesn't look very distinguished. He looks like an old man.
Whose dog is this?
Okay, well, bye. Bye, doggy. And you said there was a cat?
Yeah. He is out like a light, though. I'm not messing with that.
Well, now you have 2 pets.
If no one comes to get them. Whose fucking pets are those?
I think they're cute.
Yeah.
What do you think the dog's name is? How about you name the dog right now? Name the dog right now.
He's looking like a Yu-Gi-Oh to me.
Yu-Gi-Oh?
He's looking...
That's not a pet's name. That is... Is that another one of your children's shows?
It's very adult.
It's very not adult. Actually, I think I know what I think June showed me once. It's the one with the card game?
Yeah, and them being sent to hell or whatever.
No, they went the Shadow Realm is not hell. It's the Shadow Realm.
That's
for
what they
babies.
meant. That's what they meant.
That's not what they meant. If they meant hell, they should have said it and not the Shadow Realm.
Well, the children's airing services wouldn't.
Right, so it's because of the children's show.
Hell. He's looking like a Yu-Gi-Oh to me.
I think he looks like a Sir Puppy Poo to me.
That's huge.
What?
It's just
What?
Just as, you know.
Do you disagree? Oh.
He's fine. The list says chocolate.
Okay. So, for chocolate, we're using Nestle Toll House. I don't agree with Nestle as a company. We don't have our own brand of chocolate chips, though, so we're just gonna have to deal with other people. So this recipe calls for 2 cups of chocolate chips.
Do you like how my oven heats up the top of the stove?
Oh, the dog!
Oh, he is being so very loud.
Yo, what up? It's me, the other D-Strider that's red or whatever. Actually, I'm future D-Strider from like 15 minutes from now because that's how long it took for these dweebuses to deal with this fucking dog, who I think should be named Bing Donk. Bro looks like a Bing Donk. I don't care what to tell you. Because there's Bing Donking around in his head, you know? Anyways, I'm going to use some crazy tech to speed this shit up for you. Otherwise, you're just going to hear barking sounds and a lot of yelling from John's hot mom for an entire 15 minutes. Like and subscribe.
Sorry, folks.
Don't follow us in. It's okay.
No, stay there.
Stay over there. Over there.
Go ahead.
Oh, he's coming in.
He's fine. I think he's a little more subdued.
We had some dog mishaps. He's very feisty. Oh, okay.
Okay.
He's just going to be here now. Yay!
Right.
All right.
The
What were we doing? Oh,
chocolate.
You can't have chocolates, I think. Right? That godcat always harassed me when I was baking.
Oh, for sure.
But I don't think the same rules apply to him. I think he can eat whatever he wants.
Right. So
but you can't.
These.
Oh.
Yeah. My stovetop heats up nice and hot when we have the oven on for too long.
So we need 2 cups of chocolate chips to make sure we don't have too many or too little. 2 cups is the perfect amount to go with the amount of flour that we used.
Put the... It's fine, right?
Oh!
The measuring
What?
cup's right.
2 cups! Dirk, 2 cups!
That's like a cup, right? Probably.
Well, you wouldn't know because you didn't measure it.
You didn't measure the other things today with the,
With the what?
Well, I don't know. This is your process, I guess.
Because I know what I'm doing. I don't have to... Alright, let's see what is... Oh my goodness. That's
It's pleasant.
special.
Yeah, we'll just...
Oh, Dirk!
We'll just stick the rest in. That's like... I mean, they're small, right?
And that's why you need to measure them, because you
They'll
can't
be
eyeball it if they're
evenly
not the normal size.
dispersed. It's alright, I mean, chemically speaking, these probably has a less effect than the vanilla extract might, considering it is not fully incorporated into the dough. I might assume.
Of course you might assume, because you don't know what... let me mix. Let me
All
mix
right.
it. Because you don't know how to bake. I know how to bake. I'm the professional baker. Can you just... Okay, how about you just put the... Ignoring the chocolate chips, put the ingredients away. Mise en place. Remember? Mise en
Okay.
place. Do you remember what that means, Dirk?
Mise en place.
When you're not using the ingredients, it's good to put them away when you are not using them anymore. Especially if your stovetop heats up like it's another oven. If you guys were not aware, the inside of the oven is the one that's supposed to heat up, not the outside of the oven.
I didn't make the oven.
Alright, well... And then, what we need to do, now that our dough is all finished, and it looks like dough, it should look something like this. If you did everything correctly, something like this. Smooth and uniform, your chocolate chips evenly dispersed, mix for as long as you need to, and now we need those trays that you left in the oven.
They're cooled off.
And we're going to use these. You should probably, as a beginner, we're not going to, use wax paper. Using wax paper on these trays are built for baking in the first place. They are... Can you please put the measuring cups away? Because they're covered in flour. Thank you. Now these are non-stick pans, and they're meant so that you, your non-stick pans are scratched. Are you using metal on your non-stick pans?
I don't even know what kind of pans those are.
They're non-stick, so you're not supposed to use metal on the non-stick, or they get scratched. You can use, what's it called? Wax paper. You don't have to with these. You probably should. It makes it so you don't have to clean the actual pan very much afterwards. You can just peel the wax paper off, and then we're good. Where is our tool that we are going to use for this? I brought it. It's not Betty Crocker brand, because I didn't want to bring mine. But you have one. That's great. So, this is a... What?
What?
Why are you brooding? Come here. Alright, so what we're going to do... This is a cookie scooper. Cookie dough, and other types of dough. This type of dough where you have to scoop it and drop it, it's called a drop batter. There are other types of dough called a pour batter. Have you ever made pancakes?
No.
Of course you haven't. Pancakes are what we call a pour batter, where you pour it into the pan and it does not hold its shape. These, even though they're not baked, hold their shape. I can do this and it won't fall. And that is why we call it a... drop batter. There we go. Oh, there's some butter exposed. Dirk, would you like to drop these onto the pan?
Sure.
So, your pans, one of them is smaller, one of them is bigger. It looks like we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 3 rows of 3. That's, well, making them uniform would be nice.
Pretty damn uniform.
Well, I would not say so, but sure. Are you sure that's not your dog?
It's never been in my house before.
I think you should keep him. Do you still want to name him Yu-Gi-Oh after the incident earlier?
I think so, yes.
Alright, there's one tray! Yay! So, what we're going to do, now that your oven is preheated and hopefully not melting things off of your stovetop, would you like to? All you have to do is put it on the top tray. And you don't even have to do this with an oven mitt. Taking them out, you need them with an oven mitt. Putting them in, you don't. And now, if your oven has an oven light, it is much better to turn that on and see from the outside how they're doing than to keep opening it over and over again, because that lets all the heat escape. And then the internal temperature, even though it might say 325, is not 325 anymore. So, now we wait for 12 minutes.
Okay.
12 minutes. We will be right back.
Hey, I'm sorry I'm not so good at this. I know you wanted someone who actually knew what they were doing and...
No. It's okay, Dirk. I shouldn't get frustrated with you. You're a beginner. That's the point of the panel, is to teach beginners. I'm sorry, Dirk. There's no excuse. I'm a terrible friend.
You're not.
Well, that's what everyone thinks I am.
What do you mean?
I did my research before we started. People on this earth completely idolize us. You especially.
Why me, especially?
Well, you're complex, cool, well-written Dirk Strider. I'm angry, mean, evil Jane Crocker.
I don't think you're evil. I don't think I'm very cool or complex either.
I just wanted this panel to be perfect. I wanted to make a good impression on them and, I don't know, show them that I'm worth talking about. They're all incredible artists, you know? They always draw amazing things for your birthdays in December. And for mine, most of them just draw June. Or you guys. And only a few draw me. Which is fine, but we share a birthday, and we always celebrate it together, and...
Hey, it's all right. There's something else bothering you, isn't there?
Is it that obvious?
Well, this sort of conversation is the only thing I'm even decently good at.
Well, it's a silly thing to be worried about, but it's been stressing me out so much, it probably doesn't mean anything.
It means something to you.
I suppose. You have to promise not to tell anyone. Not even Roxy. Okay?
I promise.
And I'm asking for a friend. A friend of mine wanted me to ask you. This has absolutely no bearing on my real actual feelings in real life.
Sure.
How did you know? How did you know you were... Oh, phooey, how did you know that you were a boy?
Oh. Well, here's a question for you.
My friend.
Your friend. How do you, or your friend, know that you're a girl?
Well, I suppose I was raised as one.
Right. In a traditional suburban house with a traditional suburban father. Heir to a throne of a baking conglomerate, which was secretly setting you up to get married to Jake and have a million brainwashed babies.
Gross. I suppose that's true, but what about you? And Jake and Roxy, what about your upbringings? You all had guardians that indirectly raised you.
The indirectly is the important part here. Compare me to Dave, for example. His bro was direct with his ways of raising him. Set a clear example for how he wanted Dave to be every day to his face. My bro died a long time before I came around. All me and Roxy had were ideals for how we could be based on the rumors and legends of these badass parents that we never got to meet. Maybe if they were around, they would have raised us differently. But they weren't. So we raised ourselves based on what was around us. You had humans around you, and a society that still existed. We had carapacians, monsters in the sea, and a crooked alien batter witch. When you grew up in a place like that, strict gender rules are the least of your worries. You dig me?
I suppose that's all true. When you put it that way, it seems like all of this gender stuff doesn't even matter very much.
It doesn't.
But you're a boy, and you decided that a long time ago, and June, and Roxy, and Callie, and...
It does matter, and it doesn't. To some, these things matter a lot. Callie is experimenting with gender to reclaim it from someone who took a lot from her. To others, like June, it's just something that feels correct. And for you...
My friend.
For your friend, it might be an experience entirely different than ours. Gender is stupid. It's also incredibly important.
I don't get it.
That's okay.
I think this is making my head hurt even more.
That's okay. We can talk about it another time. Tell your friend that if she ever wants to talk about it further, your old pal Dirk Strider is always here to help, okay?
Yes, I will. I'll tell her. My friend. Thank you, Dirk.
Oh, we're hugging. Okay. This is cool.
I'm sorry, I know you very much dislike hugs, but I feel as though it's appropriate in this situation.
It probably is.
Gah!
Dave?
Hey all, this conversation is really nice and heartwarming and shit, but you guys don't actually have that much time left in this panel to wait for these little dudes to bake, so...
Conversation? What conversation? Dave, were you eavesdropping?
Yes. Yeah, I was eavesdropping. The microphone has been off this entire time. Yep, don't bother checking. That shit is so off. It's a classic indie RPG that peaked in popularity in 2012. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna speed this shit up for y'all so you can finish up this panel. Check it.
Whoa! They're already done baking? How does that even work?
Less work for us. Thanks, bro.
No problem, bro. Also, fuck you guys. Poopshooter69 is the greatest username anyone has ever come up with, and you just don't understand my genius. I'm ahead of my time. Peace.
Well, it, looks like we're all done.
They don't look too bad.
They look good, in fact. Ready to try them?
After all that, absolutely.
I think a day of tomfoolery can be perfectly mended with a plate of warm homemade cookies.
Okay. Here we go. Wow.
And these are
really good.
These are delightful! Oh my goodness. Oh! Okay, don't make a mess. Ah! No! Into the milk. No, I lost it! Oh, that's so unfortunate. Ugh. Goodbye, soldier. Oh! Dirk, we talked about... Dirk, what are you doing? What? Oh, okay. We have to salvage this. We have to salvage this. Oh, this is going to be the perfect outro. Oh, okay.
You know, even after all of our, what did you call it? Tomfoolery? We make a pretty good team, Crocker.
Quite right we do, Strider.
Time for a send-off?
I think so.
Alright.
We hope your cookies turn out just as good as ours do when you eventually have to take them out of the oven the old-fashioned way. Yes, into the sink those go.
You know, without a time traveling bro to help you out.
You know, I think I'd be willing to call this a very successful bake. And a very successful first bake. At that, I'm pretty proud of you, Dirk.
I'm proud of you too, Jane. And you know what? I do like this apron. It's, what does Roxy say? I'm a serving cunt.
Oh, okay, well that's very vulgar. You don't have to say that.
Slay. Slaying. Serve. Cuntris.
Mm-hmm.
Pussy.
Okay, that's enough of that. Time to go.
Okay. Thank you for joining us for our, what did we call it?
Bombastic baking bonanza.
That. We hope that you enjoyed watching us spill flour and experiencing a mystery dog mishap.
Why don't you show him? What did you name him?
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yu-Gi-Oh! I think Yu-Gi-Oh is quite a nice name, actually. Alright, put him down. He's going to contaminate
You're right.
the food. And we hope you learned something new about the world of baking and continue baking new things.
Thank you to the Stuck at Home Con staff for cordially inviting us to panel for you all the way from Earthsea.
We hope you enjoy the rest of your convention celebrations.
Bye.